Welcome to the Finance Wisdom Summaries.
Summary of Millionaire Mission by Brian Preston. Introduction. You can be rich. The Morrow Moment. In Millionaire Mission, Brian Preston presents a 9-step system called the Financial Order of Operations, FOO, to help anyone build wealth and achieve financial freedom. The author's journey began with a life-changing comment from his high school economics teacher, Mr. Morrow, who told him that anyone could become a millionaire by retirement by consistently investing just $100 a month. This lesson introduced Preston to the power of compounding growth and the importance of discipline and consistency. The book aims to simplify the path to wealth, challenging the fatalistic view that the system is stacked against individuals. Instead, it advocates for an optimistic financial mutant mindset that sees opportunities where others see fear and empowers individuals to become the heroes of their own stories. Key concepts introduced include Financial Order of Operations, FOO, a 9-step sequential system that tells you exactly what to do with your next dollar. 88x over principle, the idea that every dollar invested by a person in their 20s has the potential to become $88 by retirement due to compounding growth. Army of Dollars, the concept of accumulating money to the point where your investments work harder for you than you can work for yourself, allowing you to own your time. Financial Mutant Mindset, a mindset that enables you to see opportunities and build wealth by being a contrarian and avoiding herd mentality. Always Be Buying, ABB, an automatic investment plan that keeps you on track regardless of market chaos or economic uncertainty. Forced Scarcity, a strategy of reshaping your cash flow and instilling discipline by prioritizing long-term financial success over short-term pleasures. The book is structured into 2 parts: the basics, covering steps 1 through 5, and Beyond the Basics, covering steps 6 through 9, all designed to be a roadmap for financial success. Chapter 1. Respect the FOO and Ground Rules. This chapter introduces the core philosophy of the book, establishing that building wealth is a process with a clear order of operations, much like solving a mathematical problem. Before diving into the 9 steps of the FOO, Preston outlines 7 foundational ground rules that are essential for developing a financial mutant mindset. These rules challenge conventional financial wisdom and lay the groundwork for a successful, long-term approach to money management. Generosity is not a step. The abundance cycle is a core principle, emphasizing that giving time, talent, and resources is fundamental to a purposeful and fulfilling life. Save and invest 20 to 25% of your gross income is the baseline savings rate for building an army of dollars and is a non-negotiable goal for achieving wealth. Debt is chainsaw dangerous. Debt is a powerful but perilous tool that must be handled with extreme caution. High-interest consumer debt, in particular, weaponizes compound interest against you and should be avoided. Keep investing simple and be patient. The book advocates for a passive investment approach using low-cost index funds over trying to time the market or pick individual stocks. Consistency and time are the most valuable resources for compounding growth. Be wise about housing and home purchases. Preston recommends that total housing expenditures, including rent or PITI, should not exceed 25% of your gross income to avoid being house rich but life poor. You only get this life. It is crucial to strike a balance between mastering money and enjoying each stage of life, focusing on building memories over accumulating stuff. Optimism creates opportunity. Millionaires tend to have an optimistic mindset. An optimistic outlook helps you see opportunities even in dark times and fuels the drive to build a better future. Practical application. Mindset shift. Consciously challenge the keeping up with the Joneses mentality. Recognize that looking rich is not the same as being wealthy. Automate savings. Immediately set up an automatic transfer to an investment account. This turns the good habit of saving into a set-it-and-forget-it process, making bad spending habits harder by creating forced scarcity. Generosity. Dedicate a specific portion of your time or money to a cause you care about. This grounds you and reinforces the purpose behind your financial mission. Chapter 2. Step 1. Keep your financial life out of the ditch. Cover your highest deductible. Step 1 of the FOO is about financial triage, protecting yourself from catastrophic events that could derail your entire financial plan. Preston shares his personal story of being broke after college and needing to borrow money from his father, which humbled him and solidified his understanding of how important every dollar is.
The goal is to have enough liquid cash to cover your highest insurance deductible, which prevents you from resorting to high-interest debt like credit cards during an emergency. Financial vulnerability. A significant portion of Americans, 57% as of 2023, are unable to cover a $1,000 emergency. This lack of a financial safety net leads to desperate, costly decisions. The $200 a month challenge. This is a practical exercise to free up extra cash flow without increasing your income. It involves auditing and cutting unnecessary expenses like subscriptions, cutting back on eating out, and renegotiating with ungrateful service providers like insurance companies and phone providers. Deductibles and insurance. The purpose of insurance is to protect against major financial risks, and the deductible is the amount you pay out of pocket before the insurance company pays. By having your highest deductible covered, you can handle unexpected issues without going into debt. Practical application. Calculate your deductibles. Review all your insurance policies, health, auto, home, disability, to identify your single highest deductible. This is your immediate savings target. Start the $200 a month challenge. Use the provided checklist to find areas where you can cut costs. Direct this newfound cash flow directly to a dedicated savings account to cover your highest deductible. Avoid debt. Make a firm commitment to avoid using credit cards or other forms of high-interest debt to cover emergencies. The goal is to have a buffer of cash to prevent small problems from becoming long-term financial disasters. Chapter 3. Step 2. Love that free money. Max out your employer match. Step 2 is about maximizing the free money offered by your employer in the form of a retirement plan match. Preston highlights the irony that while people get excited about small freebies like t-shirts, they often fail to take advantage of thousands of dollars in free employer contributions to their retirement accounts. The power of the match. Failing to contribute enough to get the full employer match is leaving a guaranteed 50% or 100% return on the table. The book provides a table showing how much retirement income is gained by getting the match, demonstrating that a few weeks of sacrificed pay can lead to years of income in retirement. Behavioral obstacles. Preston explains common reasons people don't take the match, including present bias, lack of financial literacy, and procrastination. The key is to overcome these psychological hurdles by setting up an automatic system. 88x over. This principle, revisited from the introduction, demonstrates the exponential growth potential of each dollar invested early. A single dollar invested at age 20 can become $88 by age 65. And with a 50% employer match, that same dollar could become $132.53. Millionaire's habits. A study by Ramsey Solutions showed that 8 out of 10 millionaires invested in their company's 401k plan, confirming that this is a key component of wealth building. Wealth is not built overnight, but through patience and consistent habits over decades. Practical application. Find your match. Immediately determine if your employer offers a retirement plan match and what the terms are. Automate contributions. Set your payroll contributions to at least the minimum percentage required to get the full match. Even if you're not saving your full 20 to 25% yet, this is an essential first step after covering your deductible. Increase as you earn. Use a strategy like the 60-40 rule, where 60% of every pay raise or bonus is allocated to increasing your retirement contributions, while the other 40% can be used to improve your lifestyle. Chapter 4. Step 3. The Joneses are broke and miserable. Pay off high-interest debt. Step 3 is the debt safety training course of the FOO. Preston warns that high-interest debt, such as credit card balances, auto loans, and certain student loans, works against the 3 key ingredients of wealth building: discipline, money, and time. By paying off this debt, you stop working for the lender and start working for yourself. Discipline and deferred gratification. The temptation of instant gratification YOLO through debt is a major pitfall. True wealth is built through the discipline of living on less than you make and deferring gratification for greater long-term rewards. The debt trap. Preston describes how the debt trap is set by focusing on monthly payments rather than the total cost. This leads to lifestyle creep and the weaponization of compounding interest against you. Car loans. The book highlights the deceptive nature of the auto industry, which uses emotional marketing to sell depreciating assets. The 20-3-8 rule is introduced as a financial guardrail. Put at least 20% down, finance for no more than 3 years, and keep total car payments under 8% of your gross income. Your monthly investments should also be greater than your car payment. Credit card debt. Credit cards are a powerful tool, but should be handled with fear and respect. The average credit card balance of $5,589, if only paid with minimum payments, can take almost 15 years and cost over $6,400 in interest alone, which represents a massive opportunity cost of over $570,000 by retirement.
Student loans. Preston provides a benchmark. Total student loan debt should not exceed your first full year of anticipated income. He also offers a rule of thumb for prioritizing student loan payoff based on age and interest rate, balancing the desire for debt freedom with the need for long-term investment growth. Practical application. The Financial Mutant Debt Oath. If you choose to use credit cards, take an oath to pay off the balance in full every single month. If you can't, cut them up and avoid them entirely. Create a debt list. List all your high-interest debts with their balances and interest rates. Choose a repayment strategy: debt avalanche, highest interest rate first, or debt snowball, smallest balance first. Adopt the 20-3-8 rule before your next car purchase. Commit to this rule. It forces you to buy a modest, reliable vehicle that won't compromise your financial future. Chapter 5. Step 4. Rainy day done right. Build emergency reserves. Step 4 emphasizes building a comprehensive emergency fund that goes beyond just covering your highest deductible. Preston uses the analogy of oxygen. Cash is taken for granted until you're underwater. He admits to his own access to cash trap during the Great Recession, where he relied on home equity and investments that evaporated when the economy tanked, highlighting why liquid cash is essential. When it rains, it pours. Financial crises, job losses, and market downturns often happen simultaneously. Relying on investments or home equity for emergencies is a trap because you're forced to liquidate assets at their lowest value. Emergency fund size. The rule of thumb is 3 to 6 months of living expenses, but this should be customized based on your situation. Factors like job security, single versus dual income, and dependents all influence the ideal amount. Retirees should have 18 to 36 months of expenses in cash or liquid reserves to weather market volatility. Know your expenses. You can't build an effective emergency fund if you don't know your monthly expenses. The book provides a worksheet to help categorize and track fixed, variable, and discretionary expenses. Optimize your cash. Don't let your cash sit in an underperforming account. Online banks and credit unions often offer significantly higher interest rates than traditional brick-and-mortar banks. Preston advises a 2-account structure to get the best of both worlds: a local bank for daily needs and a high-yield online savings account for reserves. Practical application. Calculate your expenses. Use the worksheet to get a clear picture of your monthly spending. This number is the foundation for your emergency fund goal. Open a high-yield account. Research and open a high-yield savings account or a money market account. Transfer your initial deductible savings from step 1 and all new cash flow into it until you reach your 3 to 6 month goal. Don't touch it. Treat your emergency fund as sacred. Replenish any funds used for minor emergencies as quickly as possible, but don't raid it for non-emergencies. Chapter 6, Step 5. Tax-free Armageddon. Max out tax-free growth with Roth and/or HSA contributions. Step 5 focuses on leveraging the superpower of tax-free growth. The government provides powerful incentives to save for retirement through Roth accounts and health savings accounts, HSAs, and this step is about maximizing those opportunities to build tax-free wealth. Roth accounts. Roth IRAs and Roth options in employer plans allow you to contribute after-tax dollars that grow completely tax-free. This is particularly advantageous because a large majority of your retirement account value will come from investment growth, not your initial contributions. Roth accounts also have no required minimum distributions, RMDs, making them excellent for legacy building. Health savings accounts, HSAs, are the ultimate triple tax advantage tool. Contributions are pre-tax, growth is tax-free, and withdrawals for qualified medical expenses are also tax-free. The book highlights that only a small percentage of HSA holders, 4%, invest their funds, missing the most powerful benefit of compounding growth. The fund, hold, and invest method. Instead of using your HSA as an annual clearing account for current medical expenses, you should contribute the maximum amount, invest the funds, and keep records of your medical receipts. By deferring reimbursement, you allow your army of dollars to grow tax-free for years. You can then reimburse yourself for those past expenses later, effectively turning your HSA into an emergency fund for future medical costs.
Practical application. Max out your contributions. Once your emergency fund is fully funded, prioritize maxing out contributions to your Roth IRA and/or HSA. Use the provided worksheets to determine your eligibility and contribution limits. Start an HSA investment strategy. If you have a high-deductible health plan, open an HSA and immediately invest the funds. Consciously avoid using it for day-to-day medical expenses, instead paying out of your emergency fund or cash flow. Keep all medical receipts to reimburse yourself tax-free later in life. Don't have tax-free regrets. Preston shares his regret for not maxing out his Roth IRA in his early 20s, showing how even a small missed contribution of $10,000 could have been worth over $332,000 by retirement. This is a powerful reminder to maximize these opportunities as early as possible. Chapter 7. Graduating from the basics and reaching the boiling point. This chapter serves as a transition from the foundational steps to the more advanced wealth-building strategies. It addresses the frustration that can arise from years of disciplined saving and investing without seeing immediate, explosive results. Preston uses the metaphor of a watched pot never boils to remind readers that significant, life-changing growth happens slowly at first and then accelerates exponentially. The power of time. The first 10 years of investing are the most crucial because they set the foundation for future growth. Preston's examples show how early contributions are far more valuable than late ones, emphasizing that a small amount saved consistently for 10 years and left to grow can outperform a larger total saved over a longer period later in life. Strategies for staying the course. To avoid quitting just before the boiling point, Preston recommends automating investments to make good habits easy and constantly reminding yourself of your why and the long-term rewards. Bedazzle your basic life. The book advocates for a balanced approach, not a miserly one. It encourages spending money on memory-making experiences rather than on stuff. Memories blossom over time, making even affordable basic trips feel luxurious in retrospect. Catch-up plan. For those starting later in life in their 40s and 50s, the key is to take a take-no-prisoners approach to saving. This involves increasing your income, cutting expenses, and potentially delaying retirement. Practical application. Visualize the growth. Use the wealth multiplier chart or power of time chart to visualize the exponential growth of your investments over time. This helps counter the feeling that your efforts are not paying off. Plan for fun. Integrate a budget for travel and hobbies into your financial plan. This allows you to enjoy life while still being disciplined. Prioritize experiences over material possessions. Embrace the messy middle. Acknowledge that the years in your 30s and 40s will be challenging due to a high number of commitments. The foundation you laid in your 20s and the discipline you maintain will be the reason you survive and thrive. Chapter 8. Step 6. Max out retirement options. With the foundation built in the first 5 steps, Step 6 is about aggressively maximizing all available retirement accounts. This means saving 20 to 25% of your gross income, ensuring you have enough to fund your financial independence. Track your net worth. This is your financial dashboard to monitor your progress. Tracking it annually allows you to see how your army of dollars is working for you and identify milestones such as when your investment growth surpasses your income. Force scarcity revisited. This principle is crucial here. By automatically increasing your retirement contributions whenever you get a raise, you prevent lifestyle creep from consuming your new income and accelerate your path to wealth. Retirement plan options. The chapter explains how to choose between traditional, pre-tax, and Roth after-tax options in your employer plan based on your marginal tax rate and future tax outlook. It also details advanced strategies like solo 401ks for self-employed individuals and the 457 double savings hack for certain public employees. The power of maxing out. A married couple maxing out their 401ks with a combined annual contribution of $45,000 for 30 years could accumulate over $5.5 million with an 8% annual return, demonstrating that this seemingly lofty goal is the key to inevitable wealth. Practical application. Create your net worth statement. Use the provided template to get a baseline of your assets and liabilities. Update it annually to track your progress and stay motivated. Implement force scarcity. The next time you receive a pay raise, increase your retirement contributions by at least 60% of the new income. This makes saving a priority without feeling deprived. Research all options. Investigate all retirement plans available to you, including those from a side hustle. Understand the limits and benefits to ensure you are maximizing every tax-advantaged opportunity. Chapter 9. Step 7. Building that more beautiful tomorrow. Leverage hyperaccumulation. This is the stage where you are saving more than 25% of your gross income. The focus shifts from simply meeting savings goals to optimizing and diversifying where your money is held to maximize flexibility and tax efficiency.
Rich versus wealthy. Preston clarifies the distinction. Rich means you have a high income to cover a lavish lifestyle, while wealthy means your assets generate enough income to cover your expenses, allowing you to own your time and not be a slave to your job. Hyperaccumulation is the path to true wealth. The 3 savings buckets. At this stage, you need to diversify beyond just retirement accounts into a taxable brokerage account. This account offers flexibility with no contribution limits, no age restrictions, and access to capital for early retirement or other goals. Preston details the 3 buckets: tax-deferred, traditional 401k, tax-free, Roth IRA, HSA, and taxable, brokerage account, and explains which assets are best suited for each to minimize taxes. The lottery trap. Preston warns against the emotional trap of sudden wealth, citing studies that show lottery winners often go broke. This is because they lack the discipline and why behind their wealth. True fulfillment comes not from lavish spending, but from living a purposeful life. Financial happiness hacks. The chapter outlines 4 principles for a happy, fulfilled life. Focus on experiences over things, practice underindulgence, spend money on others, and prioritize faith, family, community, and work. Practical application. Open a taxable account. Once you have maxed out all tax-advantaged retirement accounts, start directing new savings into a low-cost taxable brokerage account. This provides a flexible bridge to financial independence and can be used for things like early retirement or other goals without penalty. Practice asset location. Place assets that generate ordinary income, like bonds, in tax-deferred accounts, and place high-growth assets in your tax-free Roth accounts. Use your taxable account for assets that benefit from lower long-term capital gains rates. Define your why. Take time to think about what living on your terms truly means to you. Use the provided homework worksheet to map out your goals and the purpose behind your financial mission. Chapter 10. Step 8. Funding the abundance goals. Prepay future expenses. Step 8 is the fun stage of abundance, where your early sacrifices begin to bear fruit and you have the margin to plan for future goals. Your financial foundation is so strong that you can now allocate resources to things like your children's education, dream vacations, or even investing in real estate. Beyond YOLO. The "you only live once" mentality, often used to justify bad decisions, is statistically flawed. Most people live to a ripe old age, and those who haven't planned face a lifetime of struggle. Financial mutants, however, have the freedom to live life on their own terms, knowing their why and purpose. Helping your children. While the foe prioritizes your retirement savings first, once you're on track, saving 25%, it is appropriate to start funding accounts for your children. 529 plans are tax-advantaged savings plans for education expenses with tax-free growth and distributions for qualified expenses. Cash as a wealth builder. Preston emphasizes that having excess cash during economic downturns is a powerful tool for a contrarian investor. He shares personal examples of how having liquidity during the Great Recession and the COVID-19 pandemic allowed him to make once-in-a-lifetime real estate and stock market investments. Practical application. Plan your abundance. Use the Prepaid Future Expenses worksheet to define and plan for your goals. This could include a big vacation, a down payment for a second home, or seed money for a new business venture. Fund a 529 plan. If your retirement is on track and you want to help your children, open a 529 account. You can benefit from state tax deductions on contributions and tax-free growth. Seek opportunities. Keep an eye out for opportunities that arise during periods of economic turmoil. Having a strong cash position allows you to be a buyer when everyone else is fearful and selling. Chapter 11, Step 9, Debt Freedom. Prepay low-interest debt. The final step of the foe addresses the controversial topic of paying off low-interest debt, particularly a mortgage. Preston's stance is a balanced one. While he believes in being completely debt-free by retirement, he advises against paying off a low-interest mortgage prematurely at the expense of building your army of dollars in your younger years. Mindset by Decade. The book provides a decade-by-decade breakdown of financial priorities. In your 20s and 30s, the focus should be on building foundational habits and maximizing investment growth. In your 40s and 50s, after years of compounding growth, it becomes a time to simplify and transition to stay wealthy behaviors, like paying off low-interest debt. The optimized path. Using a 30-year mortgage while young frees up cash flow to invest more aggressively in the market, where a dollar has a greater potential to grow. Prepaying a mortgage locks that money into an illiquid asset, and the lost opportunity cost of growth is significant in your younger years. After age 45, when the wealth multiplier effect is diminished, paying off the mortgage becomes a more viable and emotionally satisfying goal. Clarity of crisis. Preston reminds readers that during bad times, prepaying a mortgage can be a mistake because it ties up capital in an illiquid asset. Having a diversified portfolio and emergency reserves from earlier FOO steps provides security and flexibility, even if the market is down. Practical application. Check the math. Before deciding to prepay your mortgage, check your retirement projections to ensure you are on track. Make sure you are already saving at least 20 to 25% of your gross income. Prioritize your goals. Don't let the desire for a debt-free house derail your primary mission of building a retirement nest egg. The goal is to be debt-free, but only after you have maximized your wealth-building potential. Simplicity over maximization. As you approach and enter retirement, the goal shifts from get wealthy to stay wealthy. Paying off your mortgage provides peace of mind and simplifies your life, which is a worthy goal in itself at this stage. Chapter 12. Understand your why and the abundance cycle. This chapter summarizes the book's core philosophy and delves into the emotional side of money. It emphasizes that money is just a tool, and true abundance comes from combining wealth with purpose. Money and human nature. The book explains that we are wired for instant gratification, are prone to emotional decision-making, and often fall victim to comparison. However, by understanding these traits, we can deliberately build a life of purpose and fulfillment. The 5 levels of wealth. Preston outlines 5 stages of financial well-being. Stability, the basics are covered. Strategy, saving and investing 20 to 25%. Security, not sweating the small stuff. Freedom, assets cover all expenses. And abundance, focused on legacy and giving back. Abundance cycle. Preston's ultimate vision is a cycle of giving and receiving. He believes that the more you give, the more you receive. Once you reach the highest level of wealth, your focus naturally shifts from personal accumulation to leaving a legacy and sharing your knowledge and resources with others. Practical application. Identify your level. Determine where you fall on the 5 levels of wealth scale to get a clear picture of your progress and what your next goal should be. Focus on purpose. Consciously reflect on your why for building wealth. What do you want to accomplish? Who do you want to help? Your answers will be the motivation that fuels you through the hard work of wealth creation. Chapter 13, What I Do with My Money. In the final chapter, Preston provides a personal testimonial, sharing his own financial journey and demonstrating how he applies the principles of the FOO in his own life. He shows that the system works and that his own success is a direct result of the habits and mindsets he teaches. Life lessons. Preston recounts formative experiences like his father's job loss and the messy middle of his 30s, highlighting lessons on financial discipline, hard work, and the importance of planning. His faux journey. He shares specific details about his personal financial life, including his generosity, his cash holdings, 14% of liquid capital, his use of low-cost index funds, his credit card strategy, and his tax-free growth vehicles, Roth accounts and HSAs. The power of small decisions. He emphasizes that big success is a snowball effect of many small, consistent decisions. The core question that guides him is, what small decision today will maximize this moment and move me closer to my more beautiful tomorrow? Practical application. Review your own life. Reflect on the lessons Preston shares. Use his journey as a template for your own, adapting his experiences and strategies to your unique situation. Ask the guiding questions. Incorporate Preston's reflective questions into your daily life. They help provide perspective and keep you focused on your long-term goals and why. The main idea of Millionaire Mission. Millionaire Mission offers a proven 9-step system called the Financial Order of Operations, or FOO, that demystifies wealth creation and empowers individuals to achieve financial independence. The core idea is that building wealth is surprisingly simple, but requires discipline, consistency, and time, not get-rich-quick schemes. By adopting a financial mutant mindset, which prioritizes saving and investing a significant portion of income, readers can strategically navigate major financial decisions, pay off high-interest debt, and maximize tax-advantaged accounts. This patient, methodical approach allows an individual's army of dollars to grow exponentially, eventually working harder than they can, which leads to true abundance, the freedom to own one's time and live a life of purpose and fulfillment. If you enjoyed the content, please consider supporting the author. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, subscribe. Now, let's go to the next